My name's Kate McKenzie, and I'm a Stewardship Coordinator with the Nature Conservancy of Canada. I'd like to tell you about the Wycliffe Conservation Complex and the work that's being done by several conservation groups to improve the health of native grasslands in this area. The Wycliffe Complex is located north of the St. Mary River between Kimberley and Cranbrook, BC on Kootenay traditional territory. It's just over 1,100 hectares in size and contains ecologically significant grassland and forested habitat in the southern Rocky Mountain Trench. The properties making up the Wycliffe Complex are owned and managed by 3 conservation partners with a shared vision: the Nature Conservancy of Canada, the Nature Trust of BC, and the Ministry of Forest, Lands and Natural Resource Operations and Rural Development. The Wycliffe Complex is protected for its ecological diversity, the critical habitat it provides for species at risk, and for its role in providing continuous habitat for wildlife that prefer large, uninterrupted landscapes like elk and grizzly bears. Here's a few examples of other species that are found here. The primary goal of this project was to complete health assessment surveys on all of the grasslands and to create a grassland management plan that identifies threats to the health of these ecosystems. A second goal of the project was to complete a range use plan for working ranch areas on the complex. This plan will help the conservation partners manage these resources in a way that benefits both livestock and wildlife. Essentially, the grassland management plan and the range use plan will help guide the conservation partners in taking management actions to improve the health of grassland ecosystems over time. A professional agrologist was contracted to complete grassland and rangeland health assessments on all 527 hectares of grassland on the complex. Several parameters were assessed at multiple locations, which helped to paint a picture of how well the grassland ecosystems are functioning. Each grassland polygon that was assessed then received a health rating. In terms of health ratings given to each grassland polygon on the complex, that you can see pictures here showing examples of what a grassland looks like associated with each health rating. The majority of the grasslands on the Wycliffe Complex were rated as slightly at risk or moderately at risk, whilst a few of the polygons were more highly degraded. About 17% came in at highly at risk and 8% were rated as non-functional. The assessments were also able to pinpoint why some of the grasslands were not as healthy as others. And it was found that pressures from recreation, the presence of invasive plants like sulfur cinquefoil, and past livestock grazing practices were the primary threats to these habitats. Results from the range use plan on the Nature Conservancy of Canada's Pine Butte Ranch showed that with moderate grazing from livestock, approximately 75% of the grassland's forage allocation can be retained for overwintering ungulates. The range use plan also outlines some of the actions that can be taken to improve the amount of carryover forage for wildlife. There are many benefits to having healthy native grassland ecosystems. Healthy plant communities are a reliable, high-quality source of forage for both livestock and wildlife. Native grassland vegetation also protects valuable soils from erosion, stores water throughout the summer, recycles nutrients, and stores carbon from the atmosphere. Not only that, but when grasslands are in their most functional state, they help block the spread of weeds and provide quality habitat for species at risk. There are many ways that people enjoy grasslands too. Healthy grasslands make for sustainable ranching operations, enhance recreation and nature enjoyment, and improve opportunities to view wildlife. On behalf of the conservation partners, I want to thank Kootenay Connect for supporting this work to enhance grassland habitat on the Wycliffe Corridor.